what was your issue, sir?
Is
she on her phone too much?
Yeah, I think that's what we concluded.
But watch this couple sit down and play YBAngry and calmly resolve this in just minutes. No stress, no drama. It's just a game. We have to decide who's going to be player A, who's going to be player B.
Here's A. Go ahead.
Okay, A is good.
Both players will use the This One detail cards to write down all the details to support their position on this issue. Only fill in sections 1, 2, and 3. Use as many cards as needed.
Okay, so he should ask if I'm available, and that's a relevant 10.
So what you're saying is that I need to check to see if you're busy or free at that moment to have a conversation.
Correct.
Okay. She said yes. She said yes. The detail is not true. And I think that makes sense.
Okay, so your circle is?
I'd say it's 8. There are a lot of times I say, are you busy? Or what you doing? And, nothing. I don't get anything.
Okay.
So it's like, you don't even have a second or mind to say, yeah, I'm busy. Or can you hit me back later?
So what you're saying to me is that I'm doing something and I'm ignoring you, which means I'm ignoring you.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That's right. Is that right? Yes.
Yes. Gotcha. I personally don't recall a time where I've ever been on my phone and you said, babe, hey, are you busy? Or, hey, I need a second. Because that's just not me. If I hear you say you need me, I'm usually like, what you need? So I don't ever recall a time, you may jokingly be like, oh, there you go with that phone again. Or you may walk in a room and start talking to me and I'm already in tune, and when I get to doing something, and that's with anything, when it's got my attention, it's got my attention. That's like you talking to me while I'm crafting. Because I'm in tune to what I'm doing. And I'm not a multitasker like you. You can jump through this, that, the other, and I don't do that. I give my undivided attention to the thing I need to give my attention to.
Yeah, I understand that you have a very strong focus, but it's just it's the number of times. It seems like it's all the time. So if I come in the room and you're doing something, you're on your phone, and I'm gonna say, hey, I wanted to talk about something, or do you recall this, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Now, I might not say, hey, can you stop what you're doing to listen to me? I never do that. But when I do bring something up, I may have a conversation about, or just a quick, it's like, boom, you zoned out. I almost have to shake you to say, hey.
Well, I think that your approach should be, hey, I need your attention. Hey, you got a minute, because unless you do that, I'm just going to think that we're having casual conversation, because we conversate about everything. Like, we talk about everything. So it's not, it's no big deal for you to walk in and say, babe, and then I'm like this, and I'm like, well, what you say? And he's like, you wouldn't listen to me. And I'm like, but I was doing something, and I know that I'm not quote unquote employed, but a lot of the stuff that I don't do it from a laptop. You get the liberty of having a space and a place to work and to handle your business, but I do mines everywhere. Real estate, the household, the kids. I'm always, and unfortunately, it is my phone that I do everything by. I'm comfortable with that. You can't work from a phone. No, I can. No. So again, I'm working, I'm doing stuff, and it has my attention. It requires my attention, and I understand that you require my attention sometimes too. But you have to be a little bit firmer and let me know, hey, I need your attention.
Okay, I like that. I have to be a little more firmer. Say, hey, I need your attention. And it is not. Again, I don't expect to get your attention 7 times out of 10. There are times when, there's plenty of times that I'm doing something and you might want to talk about something. What do I say? Give me a minute. Let me finish this up. Give me 20 minutes.
Where you not let nobody get that close to you?
I give you a minute. Now, that's when I'm on camera. That's totally different. But I will give you an immediate response almost all the time.
But that'd be the difference in us. But that's how your mind works. That's how you communicate.
I get that. And that is how I communicate. That is how I operate. You operate a little differently. But I think this is an opportunity for us to come together and just observe, recognize how my partner operates a little bit. And I've done that. And I'm not saying you haven't done it, but maybe there's just still a little bit of a gap. Just a little bit of a gap. Fortunately, we don't have a big gap.
I agree. There's a gap because, I just think sometimes you're spoiled, and whenever you speak, you want my attention.
Now, again, I wouldn't say that is the majority of the case. I would just say I want a little more response. Or, just as I said, the way I communicate, give me a minute. I'm doing X,
well, sometimes I don't even have the opportunity to do that because I can recall just being in the truck the other day and I'm doing something in my phone and you like talking and you just start talking. And I was like, huh? What? You like, see, you weren't even paying attention. And I was like, dude, I was doing something. And I think you probably did it sarcastically, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to ignore you, but I'm doing something regardless of where I'm at and when I'm doing it, sometimes I feel like after you get out of there and your job is done, you feel like my time should be your time. And that you should have my undivided attention.
You said that before, and
like my work stops.
Yeah, no,
yours stop.
Well, no, I think we've had this conversation before.
And right now, we do have to stay focused. I'm making sure we stay
focused. Yeah. Well, this is all relevant, but I can appreciate the focus part. So I'll sidetrack a little bit on that. I won't go down that path.
Okay.
But yeah. So what I heard though is maybe I need to get you out of the trance before I start really just having that conversation, whatever it might be. Right. Hey, what's for dinner? How about, hey, wake up, put the phone down. Can you tell me what's for dinner? That kind of thing. Okay, I got it. All right. Okay, so what I wrote basically is I ask for your attention first. Then if you're free and available, we can then have that conversation I may want to have.
My adjustment or my takeaway is just basically, it's a notable thing for me that I'll be more in tune to your approach to trying to have a conversation with me. So if I'm on the phone and I hear you talking, then maybe I need to address, hey, give me a moment or something of that nature as soon as I hear you, because I can hear you, like I can hear you. But again, I need to say, is this important? You need my attention, or whatever, so that we can have whatever conversation it needs to be had.
Was there progress on this detail?
I think so.
Yes.
He was asking me.
No,
it's both 14 to both of you guys. Yeah.
Now you better get taken out on camera.
And
I don't need no witnesses.
Now did we win the game? Do you feel like it's settled?
This one detail. I think it's a
good takeaway.
Well, we gotta put it in practice and see how well it works. But if it works, then yes.
I'll call you if I let you know if I strangle them tomorrow.
Well, that's good. We won the game with just one out of
4,
3.
Five cards. That happens a good bit though. Yeah, so you guys did good. Now, how long has it been an issue for you?
Ooh, a while.
And why did you make progress today?
I think, but first and foremost, it requires you to talk about the problem. That's the first thing.
That's it.
The second thing is it makes you think about what the underlying issue is really about, because sometimes even in communication there may be some underlying stuff that's not being said, but when you get to card number 2 or 3, that there's some other things that's in that context that brings it out, like, oh, but so no, this is what I meant, or this is how I'm feeling, or this is how, and it allows couples to explore and conversate those other underlying areas, because you not washing the dishes might not be a big deal. Because I'm a clean freak. But me having to do it all the time might be the issue. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that, so having those questions or those steps in place may make you bring out those other issues.
Okay. Well, just like most things, we committed to paper. And then even the process of walking through it, kind of reverse engineering the problem, Give me the supporting details that support this title, this bullet point. And then we just kept walking backwards. And then we put a priority to it. So I thought just having that visualization and committing it to paper, and then, as my wife said, really having some time now, because we ain't never sat down and talked about this. If we devoted some dedicated time to this for 20-30 minutes, and that's more than we've devoted to it.
We've talked about it, just not with the context.
Yeah, that's more than the time we devoted to it over the last 6 months, right? Because it's been there for 6 months. Doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough that I've complained, and then her counter complaint. I've heard her counter complaint many times. You always want my attention. Everybody wants me.
It's spoiled. They spoiled.
Yeah,
they are spoiled.
Got that way.
I would say I'm not spoiled in that regard.
It's my fault.
I might be spoiled
my
like
fault.
with some other things, but I ain't spoiled in
He's
that regard.
He's spoiled. Spoiled husband.
Share this video and help other couples stay together, one issue at a time. Order your games and get free shipping by clicking on the link in the description.